You're listening to the PRO Media Network. The next level in entertainment.
Get ready. It's time for the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys. Telling you everything you need to know about the Saints, Pelicans, and a whole lot more.
Welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys. And we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports family. Once again, I'm Big Q, and this is podcast 354 on the Sports Coma, episode 354 on the Coma. We'd like to give you guys a round of applause for joining us on the Sports Coma, the number one independent Saints podcast in the land. That's right, coming right at you. We'd like to thank all our new and established listeners of the show. That round of applause is for you and yearns, and for everybody who don't know who we are. We are the Saints, number one independent podcast across the land, covering everything black and gold. And of course, the biggest docket on the day is the 2019 Saints draft. Spread over 3 days. Of course, the Saints didn't have a first round draft pick in the first day. Saints still made some things happen in the second and third days, didn't they, family? What more could you expect from a guy like Sean Payton, right? Sean Payton making it happen. And the major capacity is the Saints do what we thought they would. Well, we knew they were going to address some needs dealing with the secondary. The Saints went all out and, of course, did do that as well. Now, in day two, and that was the prior show, they picked up Eric McCoy and did a good job of doing that. They got McCoy, the center/guard prospect. We don't exactly know where he's going to play. But of course, the Saints did sign Nick Eason after the retirement of Max Unger. And the Saints have a little leverage there. I mean, they have a little flexibility. If you feel like Nick Eason's not going to make it at center, maybe he could slide to guard. Vice versa, as far as we have a young upcoming Eric McCoy coming in here, who's one of the best centers in the draft. Some say the best center in the draft out there, SEC's Texas A&M. And, of course, the rest of the picks the Saints did do today in the fourth round. Of course, the Saints did do a little moving around to make things happen as the black and gold do. I mean, they most certainly keep it lively, don't they, family? The Saints did a good job, man, addressing some needs. And, of course, where they're even really better at, is addressing, needs via the undrafted route. Now, of course, the Saints are going to definitely look at picking up undrafted guys every year. That's exactly what they do. We land the undrafted guys, and we make things happen. Now, in today's show, episode 354, we're going to recap this here thing. We're going to go over each one of these picks. Also have some information about some of the Saints undrafted guys as they continue to pick up guys. This is going to be something that probably expand out the next several days or so as the Saints continue to move in the direction of improving this team and trying to add depth when they can't have it, Now, they don't have too many bad spots on this team, good to say. But nonetheless, the Saints are doing fantastic things. Now, let's look at the trade that started the Saints' next pick. Now, the Saints, let me see here. Let me see if I can break this down. As far as Saints staying aggressive, now they did trade 11 spots to select Florida State Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with the third pick of the fourth round. Now, what the Saints did give up to get him is they traded their fourth, which was number 116, and the fifth, which was 168, to the Jets to select Gardner-Johnson. Now, he was projected to go in the second or third round, and some even had him penciled in as a first rounder. I remember this kid from Florida, from the Gators, and he was a player. He was a player nonetheless. And the Saints made a good move by picking this kid up. Now, to give you some information on Chauncey Gardner, as we're going to walk through each one of these guys. Now, what the Saints really needed, I knew eventually that they were going to address the safety position. I didn't know they was going to pick two of them. That's a surprise. Y'all chime in with me on that one, family. Let me know what y'all think about that. The fact that the Saints took two safeties, not back to back. They took these guys. Now, Chauncey Gardner Johnson, is an instinctive. His pretty much his breakdown is he's an instinctive free safety with short arms, but he has really good speed. He's a smooth mover. He has fluid hips. He can play center field. He can move from sideline to sideline. He does a good job of coming to balance and wrap up. He's a good tackler as well. He was and also very good in the special teams area of the team, which will translate into early snaps for the team, which is good. Now, the Saints do have an opening for the third safety position, which they do use a lot of third safety packages. Now you have two guys that could possibly compete because of who we have on the roster currently. Those guys are not the answer. I love Chris Banjo. He's not the answer at third safety. He's a spectacular special team safety. I love his motor, his energy, but he's not the answer. JT Gray's not the answer. Ricky Jefferson from LSU, he is definitely not the answer. No disrespect. I'm just telling you that if they felt these guys had potential, they wouldn't have took two safeties back to back in this draft. But anyway, the measurables on Chauncey Gardner Johnson is he's 5'11", 210. It's pretty good. He's pretty fast. And we're going to see exactly how that plays. Now, he's a good blitz safety as well, and that's pretty decent size, even though I would like my forward safeties to be about 6 feet above. But 5'11", he's got good weight on him with 210. And I've seen some plays where he's a thumper. Boy, he goes and get the ball too. This guy has no fear, and this could really be a solid pickup for the Saints. This one right here, because this guy could cover, he can move. This is a football player out of the University of Florida. Now let's go to the next pick. The Saints had in the 6th round. The Saints were able to make a move and pick up another safety. As I said before, his name is Saquon Hampton. He's 6'1", which that's the length I like the safeties to be, and about 206 out of Rutgers. Now, he's about average size safety, decent length, but he has good speed. So the Saints making it a decent effort of getting these safeties that have speed that can get from sideline to sideline and not get burnt. They don't want burnt toast back there. Now, he closes well when breaking on the ball. He allows too much separation in transition out of the breaks and can get grabby at a time. He got a little King Crawl in him. But the dude do track the ball really well and do show flashes of ability to snatch the ball out the air, even though they kind of list him with smaller hands. Hands don't mean nothing unless you're a wide receiver. But this guy here is fantastic. He's willing to step up, but he needs to work on his tackling. That's the thing. That the knock on Saquon Hampton. He's got really good size. He's a productive safety out of Rutgers. And he does lay the smack down, too. He's a thumper. I've seen a few highlights of him laying out some people. And a couple of them with him getting a few picks as well. So Saquon Barkley and, of course, Chauncey Gardner Johnson are two of your Saints. Now, before I get into the rest of them, let me go ahead and play for you an interview by the upcoming new draft pick. Well, with the Saints' 2nd round draft pick, Eric McCoy, out of the University of Texas A&M. It was a snippet of an interview with
where you were, who was with you, and how you felt.
Yeah, so I was just back in my hometown of Lufkin, Texas. Mom and dad by my side, girlfriend in my lap, and the rest of the family and friends sitting around the living room. When I got the call, man, I burst into tears. This is something that I've been waiting my whole life for. An opportunity that I wouldn't have without my family and friends. And I'm just actually really blessed to be in this position.
Eric, this team obviously in need of a center, kind of addressed the issue somewhat in free agency, and yet we're coming out to select you. What does that tell you about what they think of you?
I think it means that think very highly of me. Coach Rush already came down to my pro day, worked me out. I guess he liked what he saw. I had a formal interview with him when I was at the Senior Bowl as well. I'm just thinking that I really liked what I saw, the intelligence level, the physicality, and it got relayed up to the boss man. We're just gonna ride with it.
Eric, you consider yourself a swing guy, center, guard, either guard?
I consider myself a center personally. They told me that they wanted me to be a center, but I also think I'm interchangeable. I can play guard and center. I played guard pretty much every spring I was at A&M. I have a couple of starts there, and I played it in high school. So I think I'm pretty interchangeable in that aspect.
We know what they say about availability, Eric. Your availability over the last 3 seasons is quite remarkable. How did you sustain the streak? What is it, 39 straight starts?
Yes, sir, 39. I would just say that it's all about your mental toughness. As an offensive lineman, especially, you're going to get nicked. You're going to get nicked up. You're going to get bruised up, and you're going to be hurt. But bar serious injury, I feel like you have to be on the field. There's no excuse not to be on the field.
You know, Eric, where did that speed come from? You're a big fella to be moving that fast, 4.89 in the 40 at the combine.
I would just say that came from a lot of it was genes. I would say a lot of it was genes, but then a lot of it also came from hard work. Just kind of developing the strength of my legs, my hips to be able to run like that.
What do you know about?
There you go. That's Eric McCoy, the new Saints center. Now, you heard what he said. The Saints, of course, told him that they were interested in him playing center. But if you know from last show, I broke it down and tell you that he did play some games at the guard position. Now, spanning back for a second to give you some more information on one of the Saints draft pick, Mr. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Now, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson statistics, of course, he finished out of Florida with 66 tackles, 3 sacks, and 2 picks on the year. So that's not bad. You put that with the rest of the information that I gave you. Now, Saquon Hampton out of Rutgers, the senior, he's a guy that is, he's a 4. His 40 dash is 4.48. So that's not exactly spectacular, but that's, you're not mad at that as long as it ain't like 4.5 or whatever, But his statistics from Rutgers last year was 64 tackles and 3 interceptions. So he is a guy that can get interceptions. He is a guy also that can make the tackles. Now, of course, he's been ridiculed for needing to clean his tackling up, but outside of that, the guy is actually pretty. You could work with Saquon Hampton. So another great addition, solid pickups for the Saints. They knew safety was an issue. They went after safety. They made it happen, and I'm happy. I'm happy that the Saints made it happen. I'm happy that they were able to get there and get safeties on the back end of the defense because that was a severe area of weakness for the team. Of course, they got rid of Kurt Coleman, and they decided to come back with something better. Now, moving ahead to the next pick, the Saints had 2 7-round picks after drafting the 6th-round pick, Saquon Hampton out of Rutgers. They have a tight end on their hands. Alize Mack, 6'4", 250 pounds, out of the University of Notre Dame. Now, Mack is slightly below average weight. Now, I don't know if they say slightly, but 6'4", 250 is good weight for a tight end. Now, that's like really good, solid weight. It's not too heavy, it's not too light, but 250 pounds for a 6'4" guy is pretty decent. Now, he got really good speed. Now, the Saints like this guy. He has really good speed. I ain't going to say wide receiver speed, but right below that, between tight end wide receiver speed. Moves really well. He moves around the formations. He had the tools to develop matchup problems, and that's just the kind of guy the Saints need. He's fast enough to work seams. He's smooth transitioning upfield after making a catch. Naturally, he's a really good catcher of the ball at times. He flashes the ability to make some tough catches, but yet not consistent enough. You know what I'm saying? So just pretty much what we've been dealing with the undrafted guys on our team right now, namely Dan Arnold, who dropped the touchdown in the NFC Championship game that ultimately could have ended up putting the Saints in the Super Bowl. I keep going back to that. You know why? Because that play is more pivotal to me than Courtney Roby Coleman running over Tommy Lee Lewis. You see what I'm saying? if the guy would have caught the damn ball, we would have been in the Super Bowl. But that's the past, right? Alizé Mack is a guy that should come in and help right away for the Saints. So I really like that move. And then nothing spectacular about him in terms of his statistics. Receptions, 36 catches for 360 yards and 3 touchdowns as a senior out of the University of Notre Dame. His 40-yard dash time is 4.7. So, that's not too bad for a tight end. But I am happy that the Saints did address, those 7-round draft. 7-round draft picks are usually, very seldom. Most teams keep 7-round draft picks. But getting a guy like Alizé Mack in a position of need, like the tight end position for the Saints, when you have Cook for a couple of years, you did bring back Josh Hill, but behind those guys, who do you have? I don't trust Dan Arnold. I do like Garrett Griffin though, but I mean, will they really give him the stats? Caden, Alizé Mack might step out. He might kind of step out in his class here. It might, in a guy like that, if he can be more consistent of catching the ball, he should be all right. Only thing you have to do is hang around Mike Thomas, man. That's a word of advice to Alizé Mack. Go find Mike Thomas and go hang out with him. That's what the hell you do. That's what you do if you want to make this team. Okay, going ahead to the next of the second of the 7th round selections, the Saints did pick up outside linebacker. Now, this one kind of threw me for a loop because I didn't see them going after a linebacker, but they got Caden Ellis, who is the son of Luther Ellis. I don't know if y'all remember Big Luther, who's a interior defensive lineman for Detroit, and I think he was with Denver. But he is Big Luther Ellis, who's a pretty solid defensive lineman in his own right. But Caden, 6'2", 238 pounds, out of the University of Idaho. Now, he has a good blend of size, 6'2", 238, has the length, has pretty decent speed from the linebacker position, is an instinctive, kind of above average with his stopping power, but he can help out on they give him, he can help out on certain offensive packages. That's how they use them. He played a little wide receiver and tight end. So Caden Ellis is kind of a mixture of different things. He might be very well a long shot to make the team, and his statistics out of Idaho wasn't fantastic. If you look at his statistics, he was pretty much 17 tackles and 1 sack, just pretty much a special teams guy, help out. And I'm thinking probably that's exactly what this is. This is a special teams pickup, for the Saints to see if Caden Ellis can catch on with the special teams. So you look at Caden Ellis, you look at guys like Saquon Hampton, those type of guys, man, could help. But y'all guys tell me here, man. Y'all tell me, man. Perfect. Do you like these picks? Were you expecting the Saints to go 2 for 2 back-to-back picks with the safeties? You know what I'm saying? Let me know. I, for one, I'm elated, man, that they were able to address this safety position in the draft, man. Really, I am. Truly, I am. We're about to go into our first commercial. When we come back on the other side of the break, we're going to continue talking about the Saints 2019 draft class. We'll go back into it. And also the undrafted guys that the Saints are signing. I got a list. I'm going to hit you with it on the other side of the break. Keep listening. You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
Saints and Pelicans fan, so the only podcast I can get my fix is the Sports Coma with Big Q. The guy's intense, funny, and they always keep it real.
Check out the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
Embrace Pet Insurance is more than just pet insurance. Embrace Pet Insurance promises to provide genuine support and certainty when your pet needs it the most. with personalized accident and illness policies, compassionate customer care, 24/7 access to veterinary professionals, flexible wellness plans, timely claims processing, and online customer portals. Their values is what makes them Embrace. So, when selecting a pet insurance company as a partner in your pet's care, you deserve a company that has your pet's best interests at heart. Get top-rated and reviewed coverage for your pet today. Up to 90% back on bills at any vet, total protection, pet insurance and wellness, and dependable claims payments. Get the top-rated and reviewed coverage for your pet today. Go to embracepetiinsurance.com. That's embracepetiinsurance.com. Check the link in the description section below.
Are you a boxing fan? Check out Ring Kings Boxing only on the PRO Media Network.
Sports fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear. From all the leagues, teams, and players you love, unique one-of-a-kind designs exclusively by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars shipped directly to your home. Join Fanatics Rewards for free to earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and for a limited time, get 20% off all orders. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
Hit the link below and rep the black and gold today. Who that? Do you need a domain name? How about a host for your website that can work with WordPress? Try Namecheap.com. They make registering, hosting, and managing domain names for yourself or others easy and affordable because the internet needs people. Namecheap is an ICANN accredited domain register and technology company founded in 2000. It's one of the fastest growing American companies according to the 2018 Inc. 5000, celebrating nearly 2 decades of providing unparalleled levels of service, security, and support. Namecheap has been steadfast in customer satisfaction with over 10 million domains under management. Namecheap is among the top domain registers and web providers in the world. They offer a full selection of popular and unique domains along with fully featured hosting packages, SSL security certificates, WhoisGuard privacy protections, and more, all at the lowest prices in the industry. So if you need a domain name or hosting or anything else, think Namecheap.com. That's right, Namecheap.com. Check the description section below for link.
Follow the Sports Coma on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Welcome back to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys. This is the 2019 Saints draft show, man. We got it going on here. We got a few interviews we're gonna play for you on this side of the break from some of our newest New Orleans Saints players, hopefully that are contributing in a major capacity for this upcoming season, as the Saints felt the need to go heavy on the defensive side of the ball in terms of getting those safeties. Big deal, man. Really big deal for the Saints. Eric McCoy in the second round, and we covered that yesterday. Center guard prospect Chauncey Gardner-Johnson in the fourth round. The Saints picked him up out of the University of Florida, safety. And then in the sixth round, the Saints went safety again with Saquon Hampton out of Rutgers. And, of course, 2 seventh-round picks the Saints had as they pick up both Alex Zay-Mack, who is a tight end out of Notre Dame, and Caden Ellis, the son of Luther Ellis, former defensive lineman out of Detroit, and he's a linebacker from the University of Idaho. So Saints made something. This is not a flashy draft, like previous drafts, like the last few drafts. We were really excited. This draft has more of like a more level feel to it. You know what I'm saying? Because the Saints are already a team for the last couple of years been knocking on the Super Bowl though. The Minnesota Miracle situation occurred to stop the Saints right before the NFC Championship game. And, of course, you dealt with what happened last year with the Los Angeles Rams in the Superdome with the referee and all this kind of nonsense. So the Saints pretty much been living at the step of the Super Bowl, hopefully with the needs of this free agency. And let me give credit to Mickey Loomis, Jeff Ireland, Sean Payton, and the rest of the guys over there at the Saints facility, because the free agency period, the way the Saints have been handling the free agency period, they went and got guys that really could help. I mean, they went right to the core of the issues that was going on with this team. Tight end was a major focal point. The team addressed it with the best tight end in free agency and a perfect fit for Drew Brees and Jared Cook, who is coming off a Pro Bowl year, his best year of his season. He's coming here on a 2-year deal. Even though some people saying they overpaid for him, listen, this is Super Bowl or bust. You have Drew Brees in his 40s right now, and this team has major Super Bowl aspirations. So getting Jared Cook and teaming him with him to take pressure off of Mike Thomas, and of course Alvin Kamara, Latavius Murray added to the mixture. Then we have, of course, Nick Eason thrown into the picture. Where would Nick Eason play? Either center, and this was a question I asked yesterday before people start asking it. You get Eric McCoy here in the capacity. Is he just the backup, or do you see him as a starting, guard or center or whatever? But you know what? It's not a bad problem to have, to be honest, which is a good problem to have. A guy that could do both. And Eric McCoy is going to be a player for the Saints in some capacity. He really is. I just wish the Saints would be able to find somebody that can, maybe another tackle, to fill in when Teron Armstead, hopefully Teron Armstead can give us a full year service. It has been a while since he did it, but maybe that's something they're looking in the undrafted side of things. Before I get into any more information, let's hear from the newest Saint, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, on his deal coming here.
Was that you kind of knew a little bit earlier today that this might happen? Can you share?
Yeah, AG texted me at 1 o'clock. They're pulling for me in the DC. And then today I got the call. I saw New Orleans. I'm like, hey, okay. It was an unusual number because normally time when you hear some coaches got different area codes and they tell you, but when Coach got it, I picked up on the gym. They told me they trading up. They want to use the pick on me. I'm like, dang, it's all coming true now. And now it's just, like I said, you've been sitting. But I've been sitting for a good reason. I'm coming into a team that's, that's established, that coaches already established, nothing's on the re-up. Everybody know what the deal is. Everybody know what they have to do in ball games. And going to a defense like this, everybody plays fast. Everybody like to have fun and turn up. So it's just something that I'm just proud of. I'm just ready to get a part of.
Chauncey, talk about your ability to get to the football. I mean, that's something that we see in your past 9 career interceptions, 3 of them returned for touchdowns. You've been a guy who's been able to play in the slot, play both safety positions, but give us a little bit about your ability to get to the football, because that's always critical in this game.
It's very critical because no matter how you get to the ball, you might not catch it because you may be the guy to punch the ball out, or you may be the guy to scoop the fumble, or you may be the guy who gets the overthrow or the tip. So I just do what I got to do as a player, and then when I see that ball in there, wherever it's at, I make sure I get good. But a teammate loves seeing a guy that's going 110% and is going to be there all for them and put their body out there on the line.
I don't know if you know a lot about this team's defensive system, but they play a lot of 3 safety action. What are your thoughts on that? Because that obviously will give you an opportunity to come in and play early.
Yeah, I'm just ready to get in there. Everybody should have a lack of depth at safety, but it doesn't really matter who lack of depth. It just matter who's out there at that time being. So I'm just ready to go out there, compliment the players, and just respect what I have to do and respect what they have to do and just learn from them.
There it is, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson's thoughts on what he has to do as a player to get on his team. Like his mentality, talking tough. That's the Florida Gator safety the Saints picked up. Interesting indeed. This is pretty good here, man. Really good. Saints get 2 safeties to address the position. Perhaps now we could see them keep a few of these guys as opposed to maybe Dillon. Remember last year we did get a few defensive backs and ultimately got rid of them. And down the stretch we really could have used those guys in the special teams role. You pick these guys. Not everybody could make the team. I don't know if they have slots for all of them because you want to try to stash a few of these guys on the practice squad if you need them. But making smart choices, If there's a safety position out there where one of these guys are come in here and they're looking to take a JT Gray's job or Ricky Jefferson's job, perhaps, because those guys are really the guys on the line. If this guy could play special teams, he could definitely, because the tape that I've seen on Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is that he's a guy that can really play. So the Saints seen a lot in this man to trade up and go at him and get him. And he definitely, because the Saints, they're going to run that 3 safety look. They're definitely going to use that 3 safety look. So you need to get a guy that can actually help you in the system play that safety look. So getting a guy like Johnson is really a very impressive thing for the Saints, and is just big. Other information before we give you some more interviews from the newest Saints is, of course, Saints are doing a job now of signing some undrafted guys. I'm going to give you a few of them right now. Saints it's confirmed that they are signing former Kennesaw State running back Darnell Holland as an undrafted guy. That's coming through a source here from the Advocate, that a running back from Kennesaw State, Darnell Holland, the Saints picked him up. The Saints are signing Nebraska running back Devon Izigbo, undrafted guy as well. So the Saints picking up 2 draft picks. That guy's 5'10", 220. So the Saints are getting some guys here on the team. So it's going to be interesting. Another thing is, we trying to get some more information on some of these guys. Carl Granderson. Now, I've watched Carl Granderson. He's at the University of Wyoming. He's an edge rusher. This dude, he's a little smallish, but this dude has a motor on him, and he's a player. He will never quit. Carl Granderson, the defensive end edge rusher from the University of Wyoming, is signing with the Saints. So the Saints getting a defensive end help in the undrafted mode. Also, SMU cornerback Jordan Wyatt is confirmed to sign with the team. For our LSU people out there, just to let you know, safety John Battle is signing with the Jets. He's going to join his buddy Jamal Adams up there. Utah linebacker Chase Hansen is signing with the Saints, as the Saints are continuing to pick up help in the linebacker position. They get him. And let me see if I can find another player or two, because there's quite a few of them. This stuff is pretty much brand new coming in here right now. Long snapper Nick Moore from the University of Georgia is signing with the Saints. As the Saints continue to look for, they're ever looking for better long snappers to bring to the team. So the Saints doing their due diligence in adding more and more help in terms of, of helping the team out. And like I said, the Saints they are fantastic at picking up these undrafted guys after the draft is over. They have they have a gift of finding undrafted talent. Now, before we finish on speaking about the rest of the draft, let's listen to
Saquon Hampton joins us on the telephone now. And Saquon, first of all, congratulations. Where are we talking to you from this afternoon?
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm here in New Jersey with my family and friends up at the house watching. We just got done watching my name get picked, and I'm excited and overwhelmed for the opportunity.
Well, let me ask you this. What was more exciting, the call or seeing it on the television?
Definitely the call. The call is surreal. It's something you dream of getting. The TV part is just the extra icing on top of the cake, but the call is amazing.
Has it been an excruciating couple of days, or were you kind of in a good state heading into round 6 and 7?
It's been an up and down. The past couple of days, it's been up and down. You want to get your name called as early as possible, but getting your name called anywhere is a blessing, and I'm excited that the Saints took the opportunity to bring me in.
You proved yourself when it comes to adversity after kind of recovering from injury. You finally had that full season, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
What was it finally for you, the opportunity to get on the field full time? Describe for me the process that you had to go through to get done with the shoulder injuries.
After my last shoulder injury, I just had to do some reflecting in terms of just making sure that I was doing all the little things in terms of putting the right nutrition and taking care of my body and just finding my routine. I felt as if once I found my routine, it allowed me to my durability to last. And I think that my routine that I have now is going to take me a long way, and it'll allow me to have success on the field.
Saquon, Saints pick you as a safety. Did you start your career as a corner?
I played corner in high school and started my career in college as a safety.
Yeah. How much does playing corner help you as you transition to safety?
It helps a lot in terms of your man cover skills, your footwork, your hip, everything. It allows you to just be more fluid in terms of playing man coverage. You're not as panicky, and I feel comfortable. And
the first path to an NFL roster for a lot of players is special teams, and we see that you're a guy who has played special teams. Just what are your thoughts on maybe cracking this roster as a guy who initially begins playing special teams?
Special teams is something I've excelled in. I love to do, and I can't wait to have the opportunity to prove myself in that phase of the game as well, because I value that just as much as I do defense, and I'm excited for that.
Saquon, what roles did you have on special teams?
That's Saquon Hampton, the newest safety for the New Orleans Saints, and I'd like to say to all these guys, welcome to the black and gold, baby. You'll never meet a more serious, dedicated, diehard fan base about their team than the New Orleans Saints fans. And I'm not saying that because I grew up a Saints fan. My father, my family are black and gold to the core. But be honest with you, I went to many different cities and experienced many different cultures from people with their football teams. Just not the same. Not disrespecting the 49ers fans, the Patriots, whomever, but it's something different about a team like the Saints. And it's not just me. All the people that come here say the same thing about the team. Man, it's like something. Teddy Bridgewater, who was with the Minnesota Vikings, then with the Jets came here, he experienced the same thing, and many different players that come here. John Kuhn was another one. A lot of great people come here and say, man, it is nothing like being a New Orleans Saint, man. The people are just serious about their team to the core. Even with win, lose, and losses, people show up in the rain at the airport to greet the players coming in. Come on, man, who do that? Who does that? Except dedicated family base, not fan base, but a family base. The Saints are a family to this region, to the city. So, man, big ups to all those guys. Eric McCoy coming in from Texas A&M, the center, 2nd round pick. 4th round pick, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson out of Florida, the safety. 6th round pick, Saquon Hampton out of Rutgers. And the 2 7th-round selections who really have an opportunity to catch on, especially Alizé Mack. Alizé Mack has a really good opportunity to catch on with this team. Behind the 2 established tight ends with Cook and Hill, there's an opening. No doubt about it, there's an opening there. And, Dan Arnold was a guy that had an opportunity to do it. I feel about that. And then, of course, Gary Griffin. I got a lot of respect for Gary Griffin. I just don't think the Saints, gave him enough snaps. He did show something, but he's not getting enough snaps. And Alizé Mack could be a guy that the Saints look at and say, man, he has speed. He can get in those seams. He can get in those old holes and find himself. He catches the ball. He makes some difficult catches, but he's inconsistent catching the ball. I say go Mike, like I just said, go find Mike Thomas, Alizé Mack. Soon as you make it there, go introduce yourself. Say, hey, I'm Alizé Mack to Mike Thomas, and learn and just work with him on that. And I'm pretty sure he can really take it up a level. But the Saints might have a little Jimmy Graham, see a little Jimmy Graham and Alizé Mack. They might see that athleticism that the tight end needs. So the Saints, this was a very interesting move, picking up a guy like Alizé Mack. And, of course, let's listen to what he thought about becoming a Saints.
The teams that you might go to or whatever the case may be. But, I mean, just, it obviously stretched out. And just to see that number pop up on my phone, man, it's just a complete dream come true. And just know, it's honestly, there's no other organization I'd rather be a part of other than New Orleans Saints. And that's from the bottom of my heart, man.
Well, Al, it came down to like the last hour. I mean, were you starting to lose a little hope there, a little faith, or did you think, hey, this is going to happen? I need to be smart and calm and everything else.
I mean, honestly, you said it, and you think a lot, and maybe you start to think that everything is going to go south. But at the end of the day, I just kept my prayers up, just kept faith, and I ended up getting that call, man, and God definitely answered, and it's a blessing. It's a huge blessing. It's a great opportunity, and I'm just thankful that the Saints took this chance on me.
When you
That's Alizé Mack right there, man, tight end coming in to the New Orleans Saints. Big ups to Alizé Mack, man. He said from the bottom of his heart, man, he appreciated it. And most of these guys gonna come here and work for you. They're going to really come in and work for you. Now, some more information on some of the undrafted guys we got here now. The Saints have signed, is confirmed by the Advocate, that the Saints have signed a tight end out of, Monmouth tight end Jake Powell. Monmouth tight end Jake Powell to come in. The Saints also have signed a defensive lineman. Let's see who this guy is. BYU's defensive lineman Corbin Kafusi has decided to sign with the New Orleans Saints. And of course, like I said, we're going to get more and more of this type of information over the next several days, because the Saints are going to keep bringing in these guys. And of course, you got the mini camps and all that kind of stuff coming up. So big ups for the Saints for what they're doing. Now, let's listen to our final 7th-round draft pick, the last of them, linebacker Caden Ellis, on his thoughts of becoming.
Caden Ellis ends the draft process for the New Orleans Saints, and whether it's first, last, in the middle, it doesn't matter. Caden Ellis, congratulations. Welcome to the New Orleans Saints. You are in the NFL. What a day for you.
Man, I'm psyched to be here. Thank you.
This continues the legacy, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Your old man was a 2-time Pro Bowler, if I'm not mistaken. What was his reaction to all this, Caden?
Man, he was excited. You know, we were sitting here starting to map out the free agency thing, and all of a sudden New Orleans came calling. And, man, that was a great call. So he's excited.
Now, Caden, what was the process like for you, I guess, throughout your life to have an NFL player as a father? How much guidance does he provide for you going through?
Man, it's been amazing. You know, he's been there through everything, the thick and the thin, and man, he's been amazing. He's never been too pushy. He's always made it so it's had to be what I wanted for myself, and that's kind of developed a passion on my own, you know. So he's been amazing, and I couldn't have asked for a better father or a better mentor in life. So he's amazing.
Caden, man, speaking real well of his father, Caden Ellis, speaking about Big Luther Ellis. And the fact that, of course, Caden has a long way to make it on the team, but he is a linebacker that is used to playing special teams. He pretty much played a lot of special teams there. So coming into the Saints, he could probably have an opportunity, because the Saints, no doubt about it. If you're a guy that's a lower pick in the draft cycle, or undrafted guy like some of these guys are, the clear and key way to make the team is through special teams. And the Saints are a team. If you're an undrafted guy, and you can show them, and you really show them that you can play and you're willing to play special teams, you will make this team. Now, that's one thing I got to give it to the Saints. That's why we always get some of the best undrafted guys down here, because they know it's an opportunity to actually make an NFL roster without being drafted. Look at Taylor Stallworth. Remember him? He beat out veterans for the spot. You know, he beat out veterans. Guys been in the NFL for several years, and he was able to beat these guys out for a spot on the NFL roster with the Saints. So the Saints are a very, 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 very a serious team when it comes down to special teams, and I have to give them a lot of credit. You know, let's do a recap of some of these moves once again. Let's look at the draft one more time. Of course, it's a 2nd-round pick. We covered this on the previous show about Big Eric McCoy. We played some of the interview about him playing guard or center. I don't anticipate him playing tackle, but the question is going to be going into the camp, even though Sean Payton did say that Nick Easley is going to be our center. Now you move up to get McCoy. You know, so people are going to ask the question. That might be the battle right there if you look at it, McCoy and Easton. Well, what happens there? You know, what happens there? Or perhaps there's just me throwing it out based upon my knowledge of following this team for as long as I've been following, is that, of course, when Terron Armstead gets hurt, the first thing they usually do is kick Andrus Peat out the tackle, and they usually kind of shuffle the offensive line, right? So maybe you see Eric McCoy in there somewhere. You see what I'm saying? It's a possibility. Like I said, it's a good problem to have. And then, of course, 4th-round draft pick, the Saints move up to get Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. That's right, from the University of Florida, the safety. And then in the 6th round, the Saints pick up Saquon Hampton out of the University of Rutgers. Alize Mack is the first of our 7th-round picks, the tight end out of Notre Dame, who has a really good opportunity to make this team. And, of course, 7th round draft pick, Caden Ellis out of the University of Idaho, the outside linebacker, special teams guy. So there it is. Thank you for listening to the show. 2019 Saints Draft Recap. If you like the show, please subscribe, share, and like. Comment as well. Let me know what you guys think about the Saints draft. Do you like it? Do you think they could have did better? Tell me. Comment to be read on the show. Please support our sponsors. Check the links in the description below. And from me and the crew here at the Sports Coma, thank y'all for joining us. Peace.
Forget ESPN on Fox. Get straight sports talk from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
Thank you for listening to the Pro Media Network, who provides hours and hours of free edutainment to you and yours. If you are benefiting positively from our content, please donate to help us grow our platform by going to www.patreon.com/the Pro Media Network. That's www.patreon.com/the Pro Media Network, and support the true independent artists.
Are you a Pelicans fan? Check out the Pelican postgame report on the PRO Media Network.
The Kleins family has been getting people to go nuts for old nuts since 1995. As legends have it, a number of the Kleins friends who heard the idea said you can go nuts trying to name a store like that. In the excitement, the Kleins thought their friends said old nuts instead of go nuts and proceeded to throw caution to the wind. Old Nuts has over 2,000 items, bulk and wholesale prices of a whole lot of your favorite fruits, nuts, and confections, a selection of gift baskets for any budget, any occasion, and provides one of the best and impressively rated shopping experiences on the web. Fact is, between their selection, service, speed, or their online presence in a virtual mirror retail experience, they have developed an enviable client base that's comprised of personal and professional customers who count on their remarkable range of gift baskets. Think of gift basket, think about Old Nuts. Check them out, oldnuts.com. Check the link in the description section below. Go to newfrog.com for all of your electronic gadget needs. Fastly becoming #1 online seller of cell phone and accessories, consumer electronics, automobiles and motorcycles, home and garden items, 5D diamond painting crafts, electrical and tool supplies, computer and networking supplies, lights and lighting supplies, sports and travel items, toys and hobby supplies, apparel and accessory, mother and kid items, health and beauty items, and much, much more. Newfrog.com has up to 70% off on some products. And you can check out their weekly promotions for all the best deals. Remember, when thinking online electronics and gadgets, think New Frog. Newfrog.com. Check the link in the description section below.